Slayers of the Underworld, everyone. Welcome to the Bad Reading Podcast. My name is Atlas Novak. I'm one of your hosts. Today, co-hosting with me, the skinny tall legend. It's...
Oh, I was supposed to say my name here? Okay. Dan Grove.
I'm just going to stop doing that. I'm just going to say
no,
the person's
okay.
name.
You have this whole preamble part to where you're about to say it. I got the skinny tall legend, and like I'm expecting a comma or a pause, like ... Dan Grove. Yeah. Not like the skinny tall legend. All right, Dan. There's like no body language in this format. So I can't tell if you're trying to give me that affirmation. I'm sorry, I'm ripping you apart so far.
No. It's not your fault. This is the problem with recording through the internet. But today, our guest, the author of the book, The Tao Comedy, and she has a new special on Amazon Prime, Bobbie Oliver's Greatest Hits. Give it up for Bobbie Oliver.
Yay!
Yay! I didn't know if I was supposed to say Dan Grove right there. I was ready.
Yeah.
See, Bobbie gets it, but there's so much confusion in this realm of the webs that we call Skype.
That wasn't in the pre-meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm still getting used to doing this over the internet instead of just like in the studio with people because COVID's a bitch.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, this show is brought to you by our wonderful patrons at patreon.com/badreadingpod. If you want to support the show, go on there. All of the tiers are named after shitty tropes in fiction, from MacGuffin all the way to Deus Ex Machina. So check that out if you like. But today, Bobbie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm sleepy. I went to bed about 3:30 this morning, and then, of course, the plumber decided that 8 a.m. would be a great time to start hammering in our garage. Who knew there was so much hammering and plumbing?
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, because you have to bang down on the pipes to change the currents going on there, man. Like, you can't just put a wrench to squeeze it down. You got to, wake up the pressure system, be like trigger, just.
Clearly. Well, they woke up my pressure system.
Yeah. Today on the Bad Reading Podcast, we like to ask our guest, Bobbie Oliver, what are you into?
What am I into? Well, obviously I'm into Buffy because that's why I'm here. I'm an HGTV addict, I have to say. I used to always say I'm not a nerd. I was on Jackie Cation's show, Dork Force, and my premise was I'm not a dork, and she convinced me by the end of it that I am actually a dork. So I am a nerd just about specific things.
That's a nerd.
Yeah. Well, some nerds are nerds about everything.
They just have a lot of specific things.
So many things.
Brian Posehn has a whole bit where he talks about like how everyone is a nerd about whatever they're obsessed with. For example, like sports fans are just sports nerds. Catholics are just Jesus nerds. I forget everything from that rule of threes there, but yeah, as long as you're really intensely into something, the problem is just that there's certain facets of it where you look at something and just immediately attribute that to quote unquote nerd culture. For example, video games. I mean, like people think that, oh, just because you like video games, that's like immediately just has that nerd slap tag right on there.
Well, there's like stuff that was nerdy when you were a kid, and then like once it gets like that second wave, then it's just the mainstream. Like in 2007, exactly. I was made fun of for liking Pokemon and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Guess what everyone's fucking talking about now? No? You
should be made fun of for liking Pokemon at your age.
I mean, I was 13 at the time. It's just it never left.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, I'm thankful
Bobbie,
you're right. I could cuss.
Also, it takes a lot of math, okay? So let's get into the story here. This is from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The story is called Great Balls of Fire by someone named Niamh, Niamh, from Archive of Our Own. We will put the story in the description for you to find on your own, and also to give the artist credit.
Alice, out of curiosity, is this the only site you go through for bad reading stories? Because I feel like every time I've been on, you always mention Archive of Our Own for this organization.
Fanfiction.net is another
Fanfiction.net, okay.
one. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day you open up a DeviantArt, man.
You would think, right? No.
You know, I have to admit, I've never read any fan fiction. Chris explained to me what it is, because, like I said, nerd. But I'm interested in. I hear that there's a lot of. I actually saw on Twitter some graphics of like homoerotic fan fiction.
Yep.
Between like Spike and Xander.
There's
I've never read any, so this is interesting. So
okay.
This is cool.
Bobbie, are you familiar with the term Rule 34?
No.
Basically, sorry, I'm plugging in my keyboard.
Is it about porn or Hitler?
Basically, yes, the former. Basically, if there's content of it that exists on the internet, there is most likely content that is made pornographic from it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Plus, you can masturbate just to Buffy.
Yeah, sure.
And look, Sarah Michelle Gellar is very attractive. I will not lie.
Oh, I was thinking Tara. That's who I.
Or hey, what's it? Allison Hannigan, man?
Yeah,
Willow is a very cute lady.
Yeah, she rolls.
But are you familiar with an episode called Once More with Feeling?
Yeah, okay. Not only am I familiar with it, but let's talk about me being a nerd for a second. I had the soundtrack in my car. And when there were CDs, I bought the CD and I would listen to it. And there, by the way, there's nothing that makes you feel whiter than stopping at a red light and you have Once More with Feeling blasting from your speakers in your car. But that's my favorite episode of my favorite TV show.
Oh,
That's the musical episode, right?
Yeah,
the
that's the musical episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Usually musical episodes suck in most things. But this, I'm sure you have a million examples of where it doesn't, but they tend to suck.
Oh, no, I'm trying to think of, like, my favorite TV shows that have had musical episodes, if that's the case. And, yeah, it's about, like, a 50-50 shot. Some of them are just absolutely terrible.
I mean, most of my favorite episodes of television have been the musical-based episodes. I mean, Always Sunny, The Nightman Cometh is one of my all-time favorite episodes of TV, period. I do really like the Community Christmas musical episode. That one's very entertaining.
Yeah.
I think of other ones, though, don't have... Yeah.
I haven't seen either of those, so I trust you.
Okay.
We haven't done any episodes or on Bad Reading about It's Always Sunny or Community yet, but I'm sure there will be. But yeah, let's get into Great Balls of Fire. I forgot what A-N stands for. Those are my initials, but that's definitely not what it stands for.
Atlas/Novak. This one was sort of a dare to myself to see if I could actually do it. I think this is just the intro to it.
Yeah.
Oh, Author's Note.
Author's Note.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't know you were named after Author's Note.
Dude, for real. No, I was named after the Titan from Greek mythology, and the last name is Russian.
Something like that, yeah. I would have guessed Kazakh, but I think it has some Soviet ties. You commie bastard.
Maybe. All right, so Dan started it off there. If I could actually do it, so bear with me on this one. It's going to be fun. This is a songfic, but not in the way most of you expect. This is more like Moulin Rouge, where songs are taken and put into, yep, you guessed it, a musical. However, I am going to be changing more than a few lyrics, so you're going to have to pay attention. Also, as another note, I have not read any other stories set around OMWF.
Once More with Feeling.
Oh, fuck. Okay, yeah. So any resemblance is not intentional. So without further ado, titles, quotes, song lyrics, and music all belong to their respective owners. The titles of the songs and their composers will be listed at the end in liner notes, just like an album or a CD. So
far, this is fascinating.
So we haven't even gotten...
There's a lot of preamble to the fan fiction.
Yeah. This is just a quick disclaimer, guys. Like, I don't know enough about this whole category, this whole show, to be able to make a true fan fiction, but I'm trying my best, so just love me, please. Like, already, my expectations are just dropping astronomically from this preamble.
Well, let's give Naeem a chance.
All right. Judging the book by the cover.
So that's so that no one's overly spoiled for each chapter before it's read. I mean, absolutely no disrespect in shamelessly using all of them. I only hope I don't get sued. Disclaimers, please gods, are in full force and effect. I own nothing, just the twisted mind that brings all of this to you. Okay. If someone
this doesn't bode well for the fan fiction.
Yeah, if someone says
it's so,
they're twisted, I'm twisted. They're not.
They're not twisted.
They're
and he talked. It's just he talked way too much. I don't know if they talk way too much.
They're very insecure. That's what I'm getting from this whole note.
All right. Previously, Sweet has departed Sunnydale, leaving the shocked Scoobies behind with the knowledge they tore a despairing Buffy out of heaven. This starts the morning after. One singular sensation, the instant... It's in italics. I have to sing it.
No, please. I'm just very happy that was the first song to be referenced in this whole fanfic.
I know, right?
I'm glad they didn't write the musical.
The instant her eyes opened, Anya knew something was wrong. For one thing, it was mid-morning, and Xander's work clothes and boots were still on the floor of their bedroom, and he wasn't in bed. Another dead giveaway was the fact that she was humming. She never hummed. Humming was bad. Very bad. Roll credits. Checking in the bathroom for signs of her missing fiancé, Anya stared in the mirror. The humming turned into outright singing before she realized it. I've watched the episode. I can't remember the rhythm of a lot of the songs. So fun. Up in the morning, look in the mirror, got nothing but a toothbrush hanging on the stand. My love is only getting stronger. Love's gotten such a hold on me. Oh no, not this. Please, not again. He's gone. Oh, I better get Buffy to regain him. Anya shook her head, clamping her jaws shut in an effort to make herself stop singing. She was almost afraid to start brushing her teeth, because once her mouth opened, she knew more bad lyrics were going to start flowing. Taking the chance, she opened and shoved her toothbrush in, watching as the toothpaste started foaming. Her brain was scrambling, running through 100 different reasons why she would be singing and why Xander wasn't home.
Wait, hold on. I have a question here about the toothpaste foaming. Is it kind of like a beatbox sort of thing too, where the toothpaste bubbling? We're just like.
No, because that would be interesting.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. That lack of detail leads me to believe that you're probably right on that one, Bobbie.
Can I just say, this is odd as far as the order of things happen, because they didn't find out they ripped Buffy from heaven until the very end of the musical episode. So why is she surprised she's singing?
Well, because in the preamble, they were like, I put some stuff out of order, which, dude.
Okay, Quentin.
Oh, man.
All right. I don't know what song he's I don't know why I keep saying he. I hate it when people think everyone is a guy. So I don't know why. I'm asleep. I don't know why. I don't know which song they are trying to duplicate. So I don't know what the rhythm or melody or whatever it's called is either.
What's the one where they're singing about each other in the same room? It's They'll Never Find Out or whatever it's called.
I'll Never Tell.
I'll Never tell. Yeah, maybe it's that one.
She snores, he's wheezy.
Yeah.
Say houseworking, he freezes.
Yeah.
She eats these skeezy cheeses that I can't. I don't know. I can't describe. Something. His penis got diseases from the Shumash tribe. I can't sing. So, but I think I did better on the rhythm
than me. Yes.
Than you.
You kept that 144 beats per minute right there, so I give you that one, Bobbie.
I don't know what that means, but I'll take the compliment.
It means you're doing very well from a metronome standpoint.
Thank you. I always try to do well from a metronome standpoint.
Metronomes always seem like they're disapproving, don't they? Or they're just dikembe matumbo.
I see, wagging the finger back and forth
yeah.
Are really fucking up this song and timing today, you fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, they should sell a dikembe matumbo metronome, just his hand doing this.
That would make me want to start picking up the saxophone again. I'm not going to front.
You used to play saxophone?
Oh, yeah. I played sax for about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What made you stop?
I stopped around I was burnt out. by the end of 2011, 2012. And I was just like, I'm just going to mess around with it on occasion. And I just haven't busted out the horn in like 3 years.
You ever used it in comedy?
I thought about using it occasionally. I'll be honest, I am trying to like start work on a like Weird Al style comedy music album with like doing song parodies and everything. And I'm thinking about trying to break out my current alto sax right now. And also I'm kind of want to purchase a soprano sax just to kind of have that pitch difference between the two. Whether or not I actually bring it on stage and play it, it's weird because it's not like a guitar or like a violin or like a string instrument where you can do your comedy and tell your jokes while playing the instrument simultaneously, because you have to dedicate all of your wind to either the horn or you have to dedicate it to your jokes. So it's hard to be able to jump between the two.
Plus, it's hard to talk with a sax in your mouth.
Yeah,
Take it from me.
Yeah. You play yourself?
Not the sax, but.
Yeah, I think with like, as we're all stuck inside and a lot of us are doing these Zoom shows, I think there's more room for experimentation where you can just kind of keep stuff in your room for access when you need it.
Wait, who's that one guy that usually jumps on Max's show, Atlas? Is it Brandon Burks?
I want to say.
He like busts out like I don't know if it's like a trumpet or a flugelhorn or something like that, but he always busts it out in the middle of it and just starts doing like, you can call me Owl.
Yeah, well, because like he'll pull it out of hammer space because like you can't, you only see this. Exactly. So it's like it's up here, you know.
It's like, hey, let me just grab this and pull it out.
Yeah, you know? That's Baker Street.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's my go-to riff for a sax solo.
All right, let's see.
What were we talking about?
Something about a toothbrush. Her brain was scrambling.
Box.
Running through 100 different reasons why she should be singing and why Xander wasn't home. None of them were good. They all came back to one thing, or rather, one demon. Sweet. She spit the toothpaste out, quickly rinsing. I have to get to the magic box right now and alert everyone to what's happened. Before she had the chance to stop herself, her mouth opened and she wailed out, "He's gone. Oh, I better learn how to pray. He's gone." Once more, Anya clamped her mouth shut, horrified when the humming started up all over again. There's a chapter break.
Ampersand. There's literally like a row of ampersands just preceding this next section.
Yeah, right people will do like different like chapter breaks. Some of them just do a bunch of dashes or ampersands.
Just all you have to do is just two. Just dash, space, dash, all centered space, just then, and then you can procead onward. Then we get distracted and we just completely lose context as to what's going on because we're like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to use punctuation.
My favorite one I ever saw was just O, the letter O over and over, but it was uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, so it was like, ooh.
Of course, Bobbie can't see any of this right now because we're reading to her directly, so she's kind of out of the loop on this one. I just realized. Sorry, Bobbie.
No, I'm totally fine with that.
Neither can the listener.
I just realized what is happening in this story.
Oh, yeah?
So it seems like Sweet took Xander because Xander is the one that actually summoned Sweet. And normally, whenever someone summons that demon, they marry them and take them to hell or whatever with them. But when he realized it wasn't Dawn, it was Xander, he passed because he's homophobic. So I guess in this fan fiction, in this world, Sweet took Xander and married him, or whatever.
Okay. I mean, that does, I guess, in a way, kind of more coincide with the Catholics' ideology towards homosexuality, where it's like homosexuality is something that only belongs in hell. Nothing can have it. Kind of like they're trying to pay more homage to the source material from the Jesus shenanigans.
You mean homo?
But if you're gonna be kidnapped by a demon, that's a pretty groovy demon to be kidnapped by.
Yeah.
I'll take that over Beelzebub. Definitely, man.
Yeah, or like that weird, the weird praying mantis lady from.
Oh, I hate that episode.
Praying man. Wait, you talking about the mosquito from One Punch Man?
No,
from Buffy. One of the early episodes was Xander is a magnet for chicks who are demons or monsters, and so a praying mantis woman who killed the teacher and was a substitute teacher, like had a thing for Xander, but and tried to eat him. But it turned out it was because he was a virgin. Yeah, she only eats virgins.
I want to see this chick real quick.
It's
she's hot.
Season 1,
she
episode 4.
She's not a. Okay, but she's not a praying mantis. She's hot.
Okay. Oh wow. Yeah, she is very attractive. But what does she look like in the praying mantis form? That's what.
Not hot.
Oh no.
Hot,
bad touch.
Hot for a praying mantis.
True. Wait. So is it like a human-sized praying mantis? I'll be honest. My knowledge of Buffy only stems to an ex-girlfriend I have from college, so I'm way more out of the loop than you guys.
I watched.
Well, I think she only appears as a praying mantis at the very end when she's trying to mate with the 2 high school boys she has chained up in the basement. And by the way, I bet there's cool fan fiction about that. I want to write some fan fiction about 2 hot high school boys chained up in a basement.
And as soon as the high school boys chained in the basement came in the praying mantis lady's thorax, the praying mantis lady then proceeded to decapitate both men and devour their skulls fresh, much akin to her insectual brethren. Something
Sister.
like that. Sorry, sister. You're right. My bad.
Sisterin.
Correct.
Actually, she did eat somebody's head, but we only heard the one guy that was already in the cage when Xander got there talking about it. We never saw her eat anybody's head.
Yeah. Well, because it was the 90s and the practical effects weren't good enough yet.
Well, it was also a network TV show, so they can't really. Right?
Buffy did some, really pushed a lot of. I think for network pushed a lot of boundaries, and it was. I don't know. I mean,
what network was it on? Was it on Fox?
Well, it started out on one network, and then they canceled it, and then another one picked it up. So what was it, Chris? What did Buffy start out on, and then what network picked her up?
Started out on WB, and maybe ended up on CW.
Started out on WB. I don't think the CW was a thing then, was it? Anyway, and then it got bought by. He said the CW, but
that's actually kind of surprising that WB would play with that.
Whoever's listening to this episode who knows whatever it is we're like grasping at is like, it's this, you idiots! Like,
it was on Fox from 2001 to 2007. Damn it!
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if that's even the same time frame, but whatever.
I mean,
like, yeah, that's the shit. I don't know. I had to ask Chris that. I would never know stuff. That's the kind of details. I don't know. Like, my favorite band is Beastie Boys. I don't think I could name every Beastie Boys album.
Yeah.
I just don't have a brain for that kind of.
I remember License to Ill. That's it.
Well, Paul's Boutique. Is Ill Communication an album or just a song? I don't know. I keep looking at him. He tells me.
He's your source of everything in your nerddom.
Yeah, I married a nerd, and then we adopted my niece and nephew, and they were full-on nerds. So it was.
You're essentially just. Sorry.
I'm in hell.
So you're basically just trying to play nerd catch-up in a way.
No, I don't want to catch up. My biggest fear is that I'm going to catch up.
Join us, Bobbie. Join the nerds.
Join us, Bobbie. Please come to Comic-Con with us and dress up like good old Captain Marvel.
Comic-Con isn't even for nerds anymore.
This is why Xander was a virgin.
For things like this.
Hey, it only took me till I was 19 to get laid, okay?
22 for me.
Touche.
That just means y'all had a good childhood.
Fair enough. Speaking of 22, Dan, you want to take over?
Yeah, 20 minutes and 2 more songs later, Anya flew into the magic box as if the hounds of hell were on her heels. Giles! He looked down from the restricted book section, a weighty tome in one hand and his glasses in the other. Up here, Anya! She stood at the bottom of the metal stairs, her hands wringing and a distressed look on her face. Giles, you have to call Buffy! I don't think that's such a good idea, Anya. He closed the book and placed it on the back shelf. I haven't spoken to her since the dreadful revelation of last night.
He's a better singer than me. So much better.
That song should be in there.
It's important. She was practically bouncing, and he absently noticed that when she wasn't actively speaking, her jaw was clenched tight. I hardly think it's all that important. I'd really not disturb her at this point. He made it to the bottom step in time to see Anya's face twisted in a grimace. Really, Anya? What could possibly be this important? And I'm pretty sure this is not even close to the rhythm, but fuck it, I'm having fun. And to his utter shock and dismay, Anya opened her mouth and started singing. He's gone, oh Rupert, I can stand it. He's gone, sweet's really gone and done it. Her face took on a ridiculous look, and he stood there, stunned. When she reached
She
for
would
his
never
hand,
call him Rupert, by the way.
she only calls him by Giles.
Yeah, nobody ever calls him Rupert.
Was Anya the human rival in high school terms to Buffy in the
No.
series beginning?
No,
Or
that's Cordelia.
Cordelia?
So Anya appeared first in the episode, I think it's called The Wish,
Okay.
where so Cordelia had started dating Xander, which made no sense whatsoever.
Right.
And then Xander and Cordelia and Oz called Xander and Willow making out. And so then she broke up with Xander, and she wished there was a new girl at school, and she was complaining about Xander, and she said, I wish, all this was because of Buffy. My whole life was ruined because of Buffy. She said, I wish Buffy Summers had never come to Sunnydale. And then so Anya's face turned into a demon, and she said, granted. And then there was the whole episode where Buffy never came to Sunnydale. So Anya, at the end of that episode, they destroyed her amulet that was, the thing that was the source of her power, because, of course, a necklace is the source of your demon power. And so she got turned into a person then. She lost her demon. She was a vengeance demon.
Okay.
She would seek revenge for scorned women. So I already like her. But yeah, she got turned into a real person, and she had to, for some reason, kept going to high school.
Yeah, I
kept
never
showing up at high school.
I think that's the worst curse, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If I had
and
to choose between losing my demon powers and going back to high school, I would have kept the demon powers in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me?
That's the
she
ultimate
didn't
Greek
have
punishment.
a choice. She didn't have a choice about losing her powers, but she didn't have parents. It's not like anybody was making her go to school.
Yeah, that would be like.
But anyway, she ended up with Xander.
Okay.
And that, she was crazy.
I feel like if, like, how there's the punishment for Sisyphus where he's got to roll the stone up the hill and then it rolls back down, or like Tantalus where he's in the pool where he can't drink and it constantly goes away from him. There has to be like a Greek punishment for someone from Greek mythology, like your punishment shall be high school. Over and over.
And every day you have a test.
God, every day you have a test that you've never prepared for, and you don't have any clothes to wear.
And you have the shits for some reason.
Oh man, no, that was the worst. Whenever you were in high school, and in the middle of the exam, you're all of a sudden like, oh, I shouldn't have had that spicy chicken last night. You can't leave because you're like, oh no, the teacher will think I'm cheating.
Yeah. And then just pull a complete power move and like shit your pants.
Yeah.
In front of
Is
the
that
teacher.
what they're calling it now? A power move?
Power move?
Yeah.
Fucking fuck.
A
No,
power
I'm so
movement?
removed from the youth of society.
I think it's the power movement.
Yeah.
Power.
Okay.
Fowler
All right,
move.
let's continue with this fascinating story.
Oh man. Okay. Where was I? Okay, I think I found it. Her face took on a ridiculous look, and he stood there, stunned, when she reached for his hand. Please, please, help me stop. Oh dear. Rupert stared at her, totally at loss. Why do you think it was sweet?
Why
Because I still. What?
why do they start calling him Rupert in the like narration? Just continue.
Yeah, they just
Naeem is trying to mix it up.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
trying to add that variation there.
No one
Just throw you
calls-
off.
No one
He wanted
calls
to
y'all.
he wanted to get the total number of characters up in this whole fan fiction. So he's like, oh, I can double up on Giles by calling him both Giles and Rupert. There we go.
what were you gonna say, Bobby?
Well, the only time anybody calls him Rupert is, his friend that he used to like raise demons with calls him Rupert. But when Willow becomes a witch and Giles comes to stop her, she calls him Rupert. And because nobody ever calls him Rupert, that's a very significant moment.
It's like when you're a kid and your parents use your middle name. You're like, oh shit, it's going down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it was. She was about to attack him when she called him Rupert.
Damn. Do you guys have crazy middle names?
Francis.
What? My middle name is Francis.
No fucking
There
way.
can only be one Highlander here, Bobbie.
Oh my God. Okay, listen. So, my great grandfather's name was Francis. So my grandmother's name was Francis. My aunt's name is Francis. I'm Francis. But check it out. I was born on the day Bobby Kennedy was shot, and his name is Bobby Francis. Both spelled the boy way, Bobby and Francis, and mine is Bobby Francis spelled the girl way. And I am not named after him.
Well, you know what this means. You get his avatar powers. He's been reincarnated in the next gender in the cycle.
I am Bobby Kennedy.
You must become a martyr now. You must run for president and then get shot.
Yeah, I've really failed the Bobby Francis name.
You still have time, Bobbie. You can still do this.
I
use my superpowers to become a comedian.
Not a bad way to do it. My middle name is Hammond.
That's
What?
dope.
Hammond.
So, did your parents just hate you?
A little bit.
Atlas Hammond?
Atlas Hammond Novak, yeah.
Were your parents on shrooms when they named you?
No, they were in their 40s.
Look, I'm 51, and I would never name a child Hammond.
I mean, that's my middle name, not my first name. But
Okay, I would
They
never
still
name
made
a
the
child
choice to give
Atlas.
Hammond, though.
yeah, well, okay. So in that particular case, it's because the patriarch of my mom's family, that was his middle name. So there's like a ton of people in that family tree with the middle name Hammond.
Well, what Chris's family does is everybody's middle name is their mother's maiden name.
Okay.
So it's a rich people thing. So his mother's maiden name was Wood. So Chris's name is Chris Wood Oliver.
Wait,
And not just
switch?
in a my middle name is Wood kind of way, but that too.
That's so
So
fucking
switch
funny.
the middle and last name, you'd actually have a pretty regular name convention going on here. Just Chris Oliver Wood.
Yeah.
And then his initials are Tao.
Yes.
I'm glad they didn't do it that way.
I mean, like my dad, after he divorced my mom, he got remarried and had a second set of kids, and they wanted to name their first daughter like a name that started with M as in Mary, and the middle name they wanted to do Ava, and I'm like, no, you're not doing that. And they're like, why? Because then her initials are man, and that's cool if you're a boy, but kids are dicks. Change it. And they're like, it's not going to matter. I'm like, it is.
It will
Change
matter.
it. Yeah, and they did. And now whenever she starts acting out in about 6 years when she's a teenager, I'm going to be like, I saved you from a stupid initial.
Yeah.
Listen to them.
Well, my nephew who I raised, my sister wanted to name him Levon.
Levon?
Yeah, there was a song, an Elton John song. And so every day I'm like, you owe me so much for talking her out of naming you Levon. His name is Steven.
Okay. I mean, like, calling someone Lee, just Lee, isn't that bad.
Oh,
I
no,
guess.
Lee's not bad. Don't you know that song? And you show me a Levon, I'll show you a good man. I clearly am not a singer, but it's an Elton John. You wouldn't want to be called Levon. I mean, it's better than Atlas Hammond.
Fine, fuck you too.
I'm just kidding. Actually, those are very. I think Hammond is very kind of sophisticated. I feel like Hammond seems like an important name.
I think it's probably that same kind of naming convention where someone's last name is the middle name, and then
You could change your stage name just to be Atlas Hammond, and then people might think you're related to Daryl Hammond. You could become the next voice of SNL.
if I took the C out of my last name, it would seem like I'm related to BJ Novak or Kim Novak, but
That's also true.
yeah. Many ways to skin a cat. Let's see. Where were we?
Because I'm still singing. Didn't you hear me now? She flounced away from him, determined to force his hand and make him call Buffy. Anya held out the receiver, staring pointedly at him. Please, I don't want to sing anymore. He took the phone from her, reluctantly dialing the Summers residence. He had no proof, other than Anya's rather pleasant singing voice. But that was Anya singing. Whoops, I should have been higher pitch. But coming as this did right on the heels of Sweet's rather informative visit and his threat to take Dawn with him, he might as well err on the side of caution.
So, like, this was a problem in last week's episode with BoJack Horseman, where the author wouldn't put said this person or this person said. So there was this thing where you're like, who the fuck is talking? And that's a general problem I have with fan fiction. Also, the chapter break.
It's also a problem in comedy. A lot of times, people just will say something as someone else, but it sounds exactly the same as the way they talk, and they didn't say that person said it. And you're like, who the fuck said that?
Yeah. That's why we like try and do voices, but the problem is like it's only really feasible when Nick's here because he's got like a giant clown car of voices, and then I have like
I see how it is, Atlas. You don't think I'm capable of matching Nick's vocal range? I'm very offended.
Are you really?
I think you've been singing very well.
Yes, you have been singing very well. That's true.
Us Francises have to stick together.
You're right. We got to unite. Fight the power.
Who's the power in this case? Me?
The fan fiction and you.
Okay, fine.
You for making us listen to this fan fiction.
Yeah.
You agreed to be here. The chapter break is now % signs instead of the ampersands. So I just
I have to see. Are they okay? Is he alternating between them? Oh,
no, just
okay.
%, %, %
Wait. Hang on. I'm scrolling down here, and it looks like he's going from he goes back to the ampersands in the next passage. Why is he doing that?
No consistency.
One punctuation.
Yeah.
As punctuation, not as just the word and.
No. If it was just the word and, I'd find that hysterical.
No, it's like the little like loopy thing.
Yeah, but I mean, he's using an ampersand as punctuation.
Yeah, like a chapter break.
It's like a line break. Yeah.
Now, I think a dollar sign probably fits more that thing that you actually write in English class to indicate a paragraph.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That P thing with the
yeah.
The upside down equal sign with the D at the top.
Or it's like a double line P almost.
Yeah.
All right. Anya refused to speak the entire time they waited for Buffy and the other girls to arrive. He'd found it quite amusing when she insisted on writing everything down. He? Giles? I think that's the he.
Yeah, we'll go with it. I think it's either that or Sweet. I don't know.
Taking real delight in her efforts to get around saying thank you to the customers. It was, he thought, rather adorable watching her, so that's probably Sweet. Willow and Tara entered the shop, followed closely by Tara. Followed closely by a visibly subdued Dawn. Buffy trailed in a few moments later, long enough for Giles to wonder if she was even coming. She didn't look much happier this morning. In fact, she looked tired and drained. Her hair was pulled back in a loose ponytail, and she smiled at him, but the smile didn't reach her eyes at all. Hey guys, what's up? Although the greeting should have sounded upbeat and perky, it was delivered in a monotone, and Buffy's eyes didn't focus on anything. Giles sighed inwardly, realizing that even though the truth had emerged, Buffy was no better for the revelation. Anya says Xander is missing, and she believes Sweet is behind his sudden disappearance.
Wait, why aren't you singing? Aren't you supposed to sing?
I can either speak in a British accent or I can sing. Pick one.
You sound a little Scottish.
Scottish? Really?
Actually, yeah. All right, cool. We'll go with Rupert Giles playing Shrek right now. Why not?
That's not even on purpose. I can do a pretty decent Irish accent, but the British isn't so good, apparently.
Well, Giles' singing voice is amazing.
That's true, and I am not.
Yeah, so none of us could, most of the people in the episode, except for Willow and Xander, have really great voices.
Yeah. Do you think they do their own
Buffy
singing?
Doesn't, but it looks like maybe they padded her, huh?
Did they do you know if the actors did their own voices, or did they have different people?
Yes. Willow didn't want to sing, so they gave her very little to sing on her own. Dawn asked if she could dance. If she did sing, but she also danced. She had a good voice. Anya has a good voice. Spike, oh my God, his song just melts me. He has a great voice. And Giles and Tara all have great voices. So that's part of the reason why it worked. And because Joss Whedon, although very problematic now, but he really took care to make each song good. You know, like each song was in a different kind of musical genre, and the songs themselves were well written. Most musical episodes of things, you wouldn't listen to the CD in your car.
I can think of one where I've done that, and that is the Scrubs musical episode.
So they probably took care with the songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So Joss took care with the songs, and I feel like he really had each song kind of fit each person's abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And the point of a musical is that, having been a theater major, that every song is supposed to move the plot forward.
Because you have the "I Want" song at the beginning and all that stuff.
It's so great. Yeah, every song in this reveals something or moves the plot forward in some way.
Makes sense.
And you find out all this stuff. So the whole thing about Sweet is he has people reveal secrets in the songs.
Yeah.
That's why it's not shiny, happy, everybody just singing. Plus, they also catch on fire.
Yeah. Because it's sweet.
But they reveal secrets. So she didn't want to tell them, that they pulled her out of heaven instead of hell, but she had to.
Yeah. Or I'll Never Tell, where they're just saying their grievances to each other.
Yeah, and then later on, if you watch the wedding episode where Xander leaves Anya at the altar because he's a dick, they cut back. They have a musical scene in that where we're led to believe that it took place during the time they were all singing, where Anya's out on their balcony, with a wedding dress on, singing about how she's giving up the vengeance game for Xander. She says, "The name I made, I'll trade for." Oh no, that was in this episode. But anyway, she does. Oh, it's called "I'll Be His Missus" or something. So there actually is another scene from the musical episode that you see later on when they get married. They are supposed to get married.
Oh, okay. So in that particular case, the singing in this fan fiction moves the plot along, but just because it's dialogue that's sung,
it's just random.
Yeah, they just kind of.
Yeah, this person did not take the care with the song.
It would be like if singing was a Snapchat filter to a story.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Or it's it's aesthetically, technically singing, but there's nothing underneath.
It sounds like it's auto-tuned, basically.
Yeah.
It's just they're talking, but it's like, here's the line. Oh, boy, thinking the world's gonna end. It's everyone just sounds like T-Pain, That's I get you.
And this whole story relies on the idea we're supposed to believe that Anya doesn't have Buffy's phone number.
It's the 90s? I don't know what to tell you.
Just call her herself.
Was it the 90s, or was this actually in the 2000s when cell phones started becoming standard?
It was the 90s.
Oh, it was the 90s.
At the very end, in the 7th season, Buffy got a cell phone and bought Dawn a cell phone. But every plot in Buffy would not exist if cell phones existed at the time.
I think that's the case for a lot of these 90s shows. Seinfeld wouldn't exist if people had a cell phone,
Everybody's always having to go find Buffy or go find somebody or go tell somebody something. No, so Buffy would not exist with it. But we completely buy the vampires. We just don't buy her not having a phone.
Yeah, it's that's the one thing I've always noticed with whenever people go back and critique older movies, being like, man, if they just had cell phones, everything in this plot would just be completely invalidated. It's not realistic. Dude, you're watching a movie about superheroes punching the shit out of aliens coming through an extraterrestrial portal. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a product of its time. Buffy is so that's the thing I found most difficult about watching it, was just as if that was a show. Just with vampires and shit. And like that's not a bad thing. It's just something that you kind of have to like get over it, you know?
What do you mean?
Like Buffy so like crystallized the late 90s in what it was that going back and watching it with your modern eyes, it's very hard to not like you know not be sucked into how 90s it is. Like you can't just kind of see like
Okay, stop talking shit about Buffy.
I'm not talking shit about Buffy. This is just a thing that happens when you watch like movies or TV shows that take place in a time or just were filmed during a period where like you know.
I get it, but I mean, I don't know. There's certain things where I'm just like I don't mean to look at something and go, oh man, this like I don't watch like the movie City Lights with Charlie Chaplin and go, oh man, this movie is so 1933. Like I don't think about it. It's like, oh, this is just the era and year in which it takes place.
Yeah.
But we did rewatch. We rewatched Night of the Comet recently.
Oh.
During the pandemic, in the beginning of the pandemic, we watched a bunch of like apocalypse movies, and Night of the Comet. The whole time we're like, this is so 80s. This is, of course, the 80s was a very special time.
Very
but
cocaine
yeah.
time.
And their hair and just everything they said, and yeah.
My favorite pandemic like media interaction has been listening to upbeat songs about the apocalypse or the end of the world or whatever, you know.
A lot of REM.
It's the end of the world as we know it. I melt with you.
Donald Trump. That song mentions Donald Trump.
Yeah, it does.
Yes. So they knew. REM is from where we're from, Athens, Georgia.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, I thought they were more Northwest sort of.
No, you're wrong.
Oh, well, I'm mixing them up with Nirvana. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how.
No, they're from Athens, Georgia, and so is the B-52s, and just a whole bunch of awesome.
I figured that was the case of the B-52s because like Love Shack seems like it takes place in the South somewhere.
Well, they talk about Atlanta Highway.
Right.
Yeah, REM, and they still lived there the whole time we lived there. You'd see Michael Stipe everywhere.
That's awesome.
That's great.
With his weird, like, perfectly bald head with the like really thick eyebrows.
And you can smell him about 5 minutes before you see him.
Oh man.
What?
One of those rock stars that's just like, yo, I'm not gonna bathe because I want to be all natural for the women.
Yeah, we sat near him in a restaurant, and it was overwhelming. And not just patchouli, which is bad enough.
Yeah.
Which smells like dirt.
Yeah.
But like BO.
Yeah. Talk about his orange crush, huh?
Am I supposed to be letting y'all actually get through this story?
No. The point of the show is tangents.
Is supposed to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're almost there with the story, I think.
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
you remember where you were, Atlas?
It was, hey guys, what's up? Didn't focus on anything.
That's right. I was calling you out on Giles.
The British, Anya says Xander is missing, and she believes Sweet is behind his sudden disappearance. See how I can't do both? It's one or the other.
That was not bad.
Okay.
That was nice. That was actually pretty sweet.
Most British singers, you can't even really hear their accent as they're singing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look at the Beatles. I didn't know they were British until like 2 years ago.
What the fuck?
No, I'm
Wait,
joking.
the Beatles are British?
Yeah, like they're apparently from a pool made of livers or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're from where my best friend's dad is from.
Oh,
That's
okay.
awesome.
Yeah, my best friend Sally Mullins. Her dad is from Liverpool.
I didn't realize that Sally Mullins had a British heritage.
She's British. She was born in England. She moved to Florida when she was like 9 or 10.
Oh, so
actually
that's
down the street from where Chris is from. Yeah, and wouldn't you keep the accent? Especially, like, guys love an accent. So, like, I would never get rid of my accent. And if I were her, I'd be speaking British. And she does it perfectly, obviously. Her parents are, like, super British. But I would keep that accent. But
I think it eventually, when you live in an area for an extended period of time, your accent that you have from your previous location of living just completely goes away. Like, for example, like, yeah, for me, I was born in Chicago. I moved to NorCal when I was like probably 5 or 6, not like 2 or 3. And then I moved to Massachusetts when I was like 7. And I didn't have an accent for like the first couple of years. And then as soon as I like moved out of Massachusetts and moved to like other parts of the country, people just went, "Yo, you have like the thickest Bostonian accent of all time, Dan. What the hell?" And now that I'm out here, like people were like, "Oh, you're from New England? Where's your accent?" I'm like, it comes out occasionally. I don't know. So
When you say wicked.
wicked, yeah.
Wicked
Yeah,
smart in the car. Yeah.
I've been in LA for 23 years, although I was an adult when I moved here.
Yeah.
That might
And
be why.
you think I have an accent, but every time I go home, which is rarely, my family says you've lost your accent because I sound nothing like them.
Yeah.
But to you, I have an accent.
I'll be honest, Bobbie, when you first came on the call and I heard you speak, for some reason I went, "Oh, is she British?" and then you started talking more. I was like, "Oh no, that's Southern. I'm a moron. I'm a moron."
No. British and Southern are very similar. I think Southern is kind of a slowed down British, and the South was founded, like all my people are like Welsh and English and Scottish and Irish. So we're all British. We say a lot of similar things that. A lot of things that Southerners say, the only other people who say it are British people. Like we say yonder, they say yonder. We say reckon, they say reckon. We call a garden hose a hose pipe, and so do British people.
Interesting.
Do the British also call soda Coke?
Well, that's because Coke is from Atlanta.
Yeah.
But no, we don't call. Yeah, we call you're right. We call every drink Coke.
That always bothered me. I don't know why.
And you know what Sprite is? It's white Coke.
That's really what they call it? That's crazy.
Yeah, not to be confused with white Coke.
White Coke.
With actual Coke.
I remember getting in a fight I got in a fight in like a gas station in Oklahoma City about. I was like, "Do you have any soda?" And they're like, "Coke." I'm like, "Dr. Pepper." They're like, "Yeah, that's Dr. Pepper Coke. It's over there." I'm like,
Yeah, it is.
God damn it.
Like we don't say soda, we don't say pop. If my family heard me say soda, they would freak out. Yeah, it's Coke.
Like, you need to live that libtard city of Los Angeles. Yeah, come back to Georgia.
I'm a California boy. That's how it is.
They brainwashed you.
When I said I was moving to California, they were like, "But that's where the freaks live."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Those are my people."
If that's where Led Zeppelin thought they could write a song about.
So Bobbie, my dad's side of the family, they're from Maryland, and they act like they're from like the deep south because they live in the southern part of Maryland. But I remember before I moved out here, I visited them, and I was talking, and my granddad said, "Daniel," like he talks like he's from like Athens, Georgia, even though again Maryland. If you were going to any other part of California, San Francisco, San Diego, Fresno, I'd gladly come out and visit, but I cannot do Los Angeles. That place is just way too weird. I don't know. I'm thinking about moving out there. I'm like, love you too, Granddad. Gonna miss you.
Yeah, he wants to go to Fresno. Well, Maryland is technically south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah.
But it is not the South.
Yeah, that's what I've always gathered. I just will never say that around the Maryland crew because they're like, Maryland is from the South, damn it! Like they get super up in arms over it.
And also, Florida, South Florida is not the South.
What is South Florida?
Upper Florida, the Panhandle they call Lower Alabama, or the Redneck Riviera. That is Southern, but like Chris is from near West Palm Beach, and Sally's from down there too, and like Miami, Fort Lauderdale. That is not the South.
My dad's from Miami.
Chris's parents are from New York and New Jersey. So South Alabama is what Southerners call damn Yankees. Do you know what a damn Yankee is?
No.
A Yankee is a person who's from the North.
Yeah.
A damn Yankee is a person who's from the North and comes here and won't go home.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a modern carpetbagger, basically?
Yeah, and I gave Chris his first bite of grits.
Okay.
Yeah, and he doesn't I was talking about Southerners, about British people. We drink tea all day, every day. All Southerners drink is tea, aside from Coke. And Chris doesn't drink sweet tea. He just, he did not grow up with it. And nobody down there, Southern Florida is really just Yankeeville.
Well, they say in Florida, the more north you go, the more south it gets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The tea thing, I didn't really think about because but with British, isn't it usually just unsweetened tea and then the South.
Well, I think some
Active,
people
but-
might put sugar or honey in their tea.
Yeah.
British people or milk, I think. But Southerners cook the tea with the sugar.
Mm.
Oh,
have
I didn't know that.
You have to cook it with the sugar
So it
because
dissolves.
sugar doesn't actually dissolve in cold tea.
Yeah.
So you cook it. I gave up sweet tea a year ago when I went on a diet, but you cook it with it, and then you put it in the refrigerator. You boil the water with the sugar
tea,
in it,
yeah.
in the tea bags, and then you put the whole thing, tea bags and everything, in the refrigerator until it gets cold. And it's the best.
Somebody's listening to Bad Reading. Did I just get a fucking sweet tea recipe from Buffy the Vampire Slayer? What?
I came here for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I got Southern homestyle cooking tips.
Yeah.
I can't give you any cooking tips because my mama hated me. But she did teach Chris how to cook a lot of really great Southern food. My mama was a
that
great
is so
cook.
passive aggressive of her. I love that.
Yeah, she was a great cook.
Passive
Mean as
aggressive
a snake.
with a jackhammer.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, she was mean as a snake, but she was a great cook. And she taught Chris how to, like, she sent him all of her recipes for, like, I don't know what, chicken and rice and fried chicken and sweet potato souffle and, all the stuff.
Maybe.
So Chris cooked Southern for me, but he didn't grow up like that.
Okay.
That's so funny.
This is just as interesting as the fan fiction.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm actually weirdly enough more interested in Southern. I love Southern food. I love all of that stuff, man. Like fried chicken, biscuits and gravy, like hush puppies, grits. Oh, I love all of it, man. It's sits in
I
your
could
stomach
hear
and
you
it's
getting
fun.
fatter as you said that.
I've gained some weight in this whole pandemic. I mean,
Me too.
Of course, we all, and Southerners aren't
We all
known.
Why do you think we're all wearing dark clothing? It's because
Yeah.
But I
So
actually ordered grits online. I
Mhm.
buy grits online and have them shipped to me because you can't get good grits here.
Yeah.
And my daddy got tired of mailing me grits because they're so heavy. They cost so much money to mail.
do they
I
keep?
feel like they also don't last well if they come pre-cooked.
Yeah, like how do they get that to keep for
Oh.
the whole journey?
No. You buy it's like a big bag of like uncooked grits.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. But you can't buy them here. in
Gotcha.
LA. You can't get good sweet tea here unless you go to a soul food restaurant.
Yeah.
And you can't get sweet tea here at all unless you go to a soul food restaurant. And you can't buy grits here.
yeah, it's
You
LA.
can buy like instant grits.
Yeah.
You know.
It's
But
like in LA, you're like, hey, I want something over 100 calories. They punch you in the face.
Right.
Pretty much. It's just like, oh, you want something? Well, here's something to work off those 100 calories, and you just get dumped by a boxing glove on a spring load.
What isn't there? And Dan, you'll feel me because you like Southern culture.
Yeah.
Like there's like, there's like Little Tokyo and Chinatown and and Thai Town and why is there no southern part of town you can go and get like Southern food? You have to drive to South Central right
Yeah.
now or Pasadena. Pasadena used to have a great soul food restaurant. They have one now, but the really great one closed.
There's a few in the valley that I've really found that I really enjoy. There's one joint called Gus's. I mean, Gus's has a couple locations. They got one in Burbank. They got one off of it's somewhere in DTLA. I forget where exactly it's off of. And I think there's one location in South Central, and one location that they think they just opened up in Long Beach. And then there's also this joint near me called Uncle Andre's, which is solid. It's not the best, but it's something to at least tide me over until I go back east.
Because unless you go to like South Central, the Southern food is like fusion.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like Southern and something else, and it's like black eyed peas are $20.
Yeah,
You're like,
I mean,
you can buy 2 years worth of black eyed peas for $20.
I'm sure like what you were saying of how like a lot of British culture came over here. I'm sure fusion was just what became Southern food over time.
Well, the fusion here, they're always putting Southern with something else. And by the way, there's different Southern food depending on where you are, and the barbecue varies state to state in what
Yeah.
kind of sauce they have or what they use or whatever. So, like Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana cooking is nothing like Georgia cooking.
Mhm.
And like South Carolina is a lot more seafood and stuff. So
Yeah.
like it's
And, like,
different everywhere.
Louisiana has like has a lot more French influence because that was Napoleon's turf up until 1803.
Well, hell, if you even go to like Tennessee, like you go to like Nashville, Memphis, Knoxville, you have the barbecue from all three of those areas, and the styles are all radically different, even from a singular state standpoint.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
I love Nashville.
Yeah, I like Nashville. I like Knoxville. My brother lives in Knoxville, so I've been meaning.
I've done comedy in Nashville and Knoxville, but never Memphis.
I hate Memphis. I will never set foot in that town.
Yeah,
I
fuck
say that now, and then of course I get booked to do a gig in Memphis at some point.
And then they pull this up.
And they pull us up like, oh, well, looks like Mr. Dan Grove don't take too kindly to Memphis, Tennessee.
That was just your granddaddy.
Yeah.
Anya says Xander is missing, and she believes Sweet is behind his sudden disappearance. Yeah, like a fucking boxing glove to the face. Willow looked up from her seat at the table, glancing first at Tyra. What?
Tara.
Tara. Fuck! Okay.
You say it different every
There's
time,
no
but
why.
you never say Tara.
Well, I said, no, I say Tara every time when you correct me.
No, you said Tiara. Or
No, I said Tara the first time.
Okay, yeah.
Speech
the first
impediment.
time. It's Tara.
Tara.
As in
United
Gone
States
with the
of.
Wind.
Yeah. Or Gone with the Wind, yeah. What? How do you know he's missing? Because his boots were... this is Anya. Because his boots were still in the bedroom and his work clothes were on the floor. Anya's visible distress got worse, and she pursed her lips in an effort to keep from bursting into song. Okay, so she wasn't singing. She tried, clenching her jaw, and then, probably because she was trying so hard not to sing, she opened up her mouth and warbled out, "He's gone, oh, I really just can't stand this. He's gone, and I figured only Buffy could undo this. What went wrong?"
That was pretty good.
Thank you. Tears sprung to her eyes, and Anya fled into the training room. What?
I said bad singer, my ass.
Wait,
Bad reading. Bad reading.
Tears sprung to her eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tears sprung. Boing. Yeah. And Anya fled into the training room, wailing cries trailing behind her. This is obviously, I got a pocket thesaurus and I'm going to use it, goddammit.
Right.
Oh boy, singing. New sign, the world's gonna end. This is not good. Dawn plopped herself down into the chair beside Tara. Yeah?
Ah, you did it.
Yeah.
You got it, buddy. Good stuff.
I'm 1 for 7.
That's up to you.
Yeah. Dropping her head onto her folded arms. Remind me why I stayed home from school again? Wait. Who is talking? Oh, okay. Because
and she would not have been able to stay home from school. She would not have stayed home from school.
Because none of us woke up on time, Donnie. Xander was supposed to pick you up in time for school. Willow realized the importance of what she just said, clapping a hand over her mouth. I guess she's right. Xander is missing. And all this time, Buffy hadn't said a word, just listened. When it was apparent they were all waiting for her to say something, she shrugged and said, "We should probably find out where he is first." "Right, I'll get on that." Giles handed off a pair of books to Tara and Willow, motioning Buffy forward a bit. "Buffy, might I have a word with you?" And there's another chapter break.
Line of ampersands. And this is the last paragraph.
Yeah, this is the home stretch, yeah.
Home stretch. Okay, this is what They were researching quietly, Willow and Tara flipping methodically through books, searching for any information on Sweet's home dimension, while Anya alternated between frantically wringing her hands while pacing or mumbling to herself about contacting DeHoffrin. How do you say that now?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Buffy had retreated to the training room, and the occasional sound of the punching bag could be heard over Anya's mutterings.
I'm helping.
That was a nice little David Spade sound effect there. Giles fought the urge to go speak with her, focusing instead on finding Xander. He had no idea what to say to her in any event, knowing now where she had been. What do you say, someone who'd been taught from heaven? How do you approach that conversation? Giles was at a loss where to even begin. Don was doing homework, stealing glances at the books. Tara was going through when Anya paced close to the table. Any luck? Well, I think I tapped something, but I'm not sure. There's something mention of sweet here, so I think that's it. Willow glanced up at the other girl, a grim, tired look crossing her face. I guess we could do a locator spell on Xander just to make sure. Oh man, okay, no, I'm not doing this high pitch. It's gonna hurt my throat.
I think dogs are like running to your apartment door right now.
Yay! I get to pet and cuddle with all of them. That would be great. All right. Okay, too bad Xander and I aren't already married. If we were both demons, he could feel me. Oh. And I'd be able to, feel you in like the Sixth Sense Spider-Man way.
Yeah, not
Does he,
not feel. Not feel.
does he become a
feel.
demon if they get married?
You're the Buffy expert on this one,
No,
Bob. I'm just
no.
reading
Has
pages.
this guy seen Buffy? You don't become a demon when you get married.
Yeah.
I think it's more if she was still the vengeance demon, she could like
She could feel
locate
him.
sweet, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Something demon. I lost the case. Okay. Anya looked down to Willow. How will you do a locator without a map? Is that possible? I didn't know about that. Willow slumped in her chair, dropping her pencil between the pages of the book. Anya whirled around, hands clenched together in front of her. No wind, no rain, no winter storm can stop me, babe. Don and Tara sat up, their voices echoing Anya's soft singing. Baby, oh, baby, there ain't no mountain high. Oh, wait, my bad. Let me retract this statement real quick, because I totally fucked this up.
Oh yeah. It's coming.
Yeah, hang on. 'Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. There ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you. Anya headed for the stairs, sashaying to the beat. If you need, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far. Just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry, 'cause you won't have to worry. The two girls moved behind her, standing on the upper step. Their voices raised to compliment Anya's, and together they sang the chorus. Ain't no mountain high enough.
Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough
to keep me from getting to you. Both girls dropped into a low croning. Ooh. Well,
So they just stole another song. They just just put a completely already written song.
They're still going, and it just goes on for like another like paragraph and a half. Wow, I was not expecting this. Okay, while Anya kept singing, it's still going.
I mean, we can skip a large chunk of that. It's basically just that song for 3 more paragraphs.
I don't think they have the rights to that song.
Well, technically, it is parody because you're like, it's fair use.
No, I don't think it's fair use yet on this. I think in order for it to be considered parody, it has to have like some variation to it outside of just the lyrics.
Or
outside it's literally the song.
Yeah.
I don't think it's called parody as much as it's called stealing.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with Bobbie on this one, because here's the thing. There's a lot of places that have like that. There's a lot of restaurants that could sing "Happy Birthday," or at least this used to be the case. I think it's officially safe now to do it, where restaurants would sing "Happy Birthday," and there'd be copyright like cops sitting in the restaurant to scout them out. And if the copyright police saw these people singing "Happy Birthday," the copyright police would be like, "Here's a lawsuit for you, asshole. Pay us $500,000 for using the song."
That's such a weird thing to.
Yeah, so that's why you'll see places like Red Robin have their own like individual like happy, it's your birthday, it's your birthday from the Red Robin, yum. You know, that's what you got.
So copyright police. I thought regular cops sucked.
Oh, dude.
These people really, but they get a free lunch, right? Everywhere they go.
Defund the police, especially the copyright cops. Yeah.
Defund the copyright police.
No, abolish the copyright police, man. They are.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Yeah, you're right, Bobbie. Defund the copyright police. Take away their power.
Okay,
you can't lobby for more patents. All right, sorry.
I say we skip the rest of this song because I don't want YouTube to be like, "Hey, bitch."
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Let me see here.
How about they kept singing until Giles interrupted? Maybe.
I think I can do. Yeah. That's probably the safest spot. Yeah, that's a good call. They kept singing until Giles interrupted. His tone of his voice caught between pride in their abilities and horror at the prospect of more singing.
Thank you.
Right then, we'll focus on getting Xander back. I can't believe I'm singing again, although the good news is they were all #1 on Billboard charts. Oh my fucking god.
Now, Anya would have said that.
Okay.
But Giles would never have said that. Anya was preoccupied with whether or not the songs they were singing were had the ability to go pop.
Okay, so this was insane because this is a chorus break, and I think this is Anya singing this right now. So that's actually good character study.
Characterization.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Anya stepped down from the stairs, then slapped her hands on the table. What I really want to do is find Sweet and make him return, my Xander. He can't have him be his queen. I know role reversals can lead to very intense orgasms, but Xander's not allowed to have orgasms with anyone but me. Okay, here's
so he's not allowed to masturbate?
Wow.
No, I guess Anya wants to peg Xander. Is that what I'm getting from this?
Perhaps.
Fuck, man. Oh, boy. Okay, it was a measure of just how wicked everyone was when no one thought to even chastise Anya for speaking so plainly. Even Dawn remained silent, lost in her own thoughts. Buffy turned her back on the shop, forcing Spike to... Where did Spike come from?
Yes, Spike wasn't even here the whole time.
Finally, Spike.
Did we miss just Spike? Oh, Spike just came in the middle of the Ain't No Mount. That's why.
Okay. Got
We skipped it. That's what happened.
Gotcha.
Okay. Why are you here? Was on my way to Willie's when I heard two demons serenading each other in the sewers. Figured everything was still Broadway bound and changed my direction. He watched her carefully, more aware than he'd ever been of how fragile she was. You okay? Buffy shrugged. Doesn't matter. Matters to me, Slayer. He followed her over to the punching bag, holding her.
I just got wet.
Here we go. Well, we're about to get into even more hot and heavy shenanigans right here with some beautiful serenading. But he followed her over to the punching bag, holding it for her as she half-heartedly swatted at it. Then you are a majority of one. Oh, sorry, that was Buffy. Sorry. Buffy gave up, her hands almost touching his on the black leather. I'm so tired of everything. Everything is so exhausting. Even with the big unveil, they ain't going easy. How can they? I don't even think they really understand. She finally looked at him. What care? They care, pet. Nibbler and Glinda, at least. Spike thought for a moment, then inclined his head toward the shop. Should talk to Rupes. He'll listen.
Rupes.
Rupes.
Nobody calls him Rupes.
Yeah, what?
Nobody. That's all right. All right, Naeem.
Okay, all right. It's okay. We're almost done. I don't want to talk to any of... Oh, sorry. This is Buffy.
Can you just call me on the phone and talk like that?
Just call you right now. Oh, hey there. Hey there, Bobby. How's it doing today? Those kids convert you to alienated nerddom right now? Just don't worry. I'll come over there and brought me great leather black jacket for you.
It's like halfway to Mick Jagger.
Yeah, a little bit, you know.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'm doing some homage. I see a red door and I want it painted black leather jackets. No, it doesn't mean much. No, you don't care about my opinion and all, but
Oh. Did he freeze?
Yes.
He froze. Fuck.
But that was a good place to freeze.
Maybe. Why? Just because his face is frozen like that?
No, just because this story's getting old.
I mean, there's literally like one more paragraph left.
Does he know he froze? Can you text him?
Yeah, I'm gonna text him. You froze.
I can't tell you how many times during the pandemic I have had to text somebody, you froze.
Yeah. Just finish this. Come on. I need him to come back. Fuck.
So it is a fan fiction.
Oh, there he is. He's back. You're back.
Oh,
Damn.
hey.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Got me? You got me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Sorry,
Okay.
I just typed all caps. I'm coming.
Okay.
All right, so
Yeah.
come on, buddy. Let's go kill some nasties. Okay. Without a backward glance toward the main are of the shop, the two blondes headed outside. And that's it.
That's the end of the chapter.
The
Bobbie.
two blondes.
Hang on. There's some liner notes as to what songs were referenced in this.
Oh, fuck off.
She has a bibliography.
Yeah.
Hang on. She's Gone, Hall & Oates, from the album Abandoned Luncheonette, released in 1973, written by Daryl Hall and John Oates.
Oh, Jesus.
April Mountain High Enough, written by Nicholas Ashford and Valerie Simpson, 1966. Recorded by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell in 1967. Diana Ross and the Supremes in 1970, and numerous other. He's got coverage on every single rendition of when this song was recorded and sent out for distribution.
I like how this is probably a guy who like did a history report, and they're like, "This is how you do a bibliography." He's like, "Oh, if I do that,
It'll seem legit.
It'll seem legit." Like,
hey, are you going to play any of the musical when this podcast is released? Are you going to play it, or are you not allowed to?
I can't, because then YouTube is going to fucking be up our ass.
Yeah.
I would, though.
So we have dance parties sometimes, and I've tried to post videos of me and Chris dancing, and then always won't let it go up because of whatever song is in the background.
Yeah, what you have to do is like either play it at different speeds, which is just never as good, where it's like just a click too slow or fast. And,
or you pitch it down or something like that, too.
Yeah. Or I think you can also do it 5 seconds or less of something.
Yeah, that's the general fair use policy.
That's a great video. 5 seconds or less.
Seconds.
Yeah, but this was...
that's how long I lasted when I was... Never mind.
Anyway, Bobbie, what did you think of the story?
I think it's my first fan fiction that I've ever had read to me. You know, as a real Buffy fan, it's hard not to pick it apart. Some of the dialogue was really spot on, like Spike calling her pet and saying nasties and stuff like that. That was pretty spot on. Some of the stuff seemed out of character, like Willow not seeming very interested that Xander's gone. Like, Xander's been Willow's best friend since she was in kindergarten. Mm-hmm. She would be more concerned than anybody that he was missing. But I don't know. There was no sex in it. I was kind of hoping there was going to be sex in it. What's the point of writing fan fiction?
There's a second chapter.
There's like several chapters to this.
Oh, of course there are.
Yeah, we only read the first chapter.
Silly me.
Which, to the listener, if you're like, I want sex with my Buffy. Links in the description, my friends.
Chapter 8? How many chapters are there?
Oh my God! Thank God this podcast is not long enough to read all of it.
I know, right?
I need to be here for at least 5 days.
Yeah.
There's a decent amount of sex in Buffy.
Yeah.
Once she turns 17, and she has sex with Angel, and then he turns, like all men, he turns evil afterward. And then in college, and there's Tara and Willow, and Xander and Anya. There's plenty of sex in it, but
there's 13 chapters total in this.
Oh my God!
I would say, what would you do to punch this up? Either of you.
Well, I would tear it up.
Tear it up.
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess make sure some of the dialogue is a little more accurate to the character. And I just felt like there was so much like extra stuff that didn't have to be. And the dialogue didn't, I mean, the music didn't actually move anything along for the most part. It was very mundane things that they sang. In the musical, they talk, they say mundane things, and then they sing things that are, move the story along. So, but I'm, who am I to critique Naeem, whoever wrote this, who I'm sure is a huge Buffy fan.
In chapter 10, they sing "I'll Make a Man Out of You" from Mulan.
No.
That.
No.
Okay, so that's not even right.
Yeah.
It's not I mean, this is my first fan fiction, but I feel like I can say it's not fan fiction if you're using songs and stuff that's already been written.
I'm literally just going through. I'm just looking at all the chapters right now to see what other songs are referenced here.
You're just scrolling to the bottom.
Who's going to turn somebody into a man?
I guess Sweet's going to turn Xander into a man by having sex with him?
Sure.
Okay, I would watch that. I would watch that because right now especially, my favorite kind of porn is gay male porn. I love gay male because it's two things I like. So I would watch, but I don't know about. I would watch something that had like Spike. You know, Spike is so hot and Xander's so regular. So I mean, it would have to be somebody as hot as Spike.
Hey, come on, be nice to the regular guys out there. Otherwise, how am I gonna?
Oh, believe me, I've fucked way more Xanders than I have Spike.
Good. Nice to know that I have a chance out there.
You have a chance, as long as you don't make me call you Hammond.
Why again? I don't want anybody to call me Hammond.
It's
Christ.
okay, Hammond. I love you.
Oh God, Dan. All right. I think that.
Are you sick of me yet, Atlas?
Maybe.
Oh my God, they sing Metallica in Chapter 2.
No. No.
Oh wait, hold on. They sing both "I'll Make a Man." They do a reprise in Chapter 10 of "I'll Make a Man Out of You." They sing "I'll Make a Man Out of You" in the Chapter 2. Go back to do it again in Chapter 10.
It better be Spike singing Metallica.
I hope not. I hope it's like Buffy or someone.
Which Metallica song do they do?
Enter Sandman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What? Do you think they were going to sing the Four Horsemen or something?
No, I thought they were going to do like.
But he called
Master
it
of Puppets?
Enter Sandman.
Best pun of the episode. She took it.
I don't think there's any better way we could close out this episode outside of that fucking awesome dope pun.
Bobbie, thank you so much for coming on Bad Reading. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. It was worth getting up early and putting on a little bit of makeup and hanging out with y'all.
We recorded this at
noon.
Yeah, but to me that's early. Like I went to bed at like 3:30, and then the hammering started at 8.
Oh, right.
So and if this were audio, I would have just crawled out of bed and came on. But because it's video, I feel like I at least have to shower and put on like under eye.
For the people listening on Spotify, it's not going to matter, but there are the YouTube
God
people
damn
out there.
it.
Hey, it's in both places. So, yeah. Where can people find you, follow you out there in the interwebs?
So, on Twitter and Instagram, I am at the Bobbie Oliver, and Bobbie is spelled Bobbie because I am a girl. My new Amazon special is up. Amazon Prime. It's called Bobbie Oliver's Greatest Hits. It is an hour and 45 minutes of my favorite jokes from my 4 previous albums. So it's like over 25 years of comedy, all my favorites. And it was recorded live. I didn't Cheech and Chong it and just like put the old bits on. Yeah, no, it's recorded live.
Wow.
And also I own Tao Comedy Studio. And Tao Comedy Studio can be found on Twitter and Instagram at Tao, which is spelled Tao Comedy Studio.
That's a good spot for those of you who live in the LA area and are looking for a solid performance venue to look at that's not your generic Comedy Store, fourth wall, Laugh Factory environment. It's a great workout room. I love it.
Plus, she runs a comedy festival every year that's like top notch.
Yeah, that Atlas was in. Very recently. Yeah, Tao Comedy Studio won LA Weekly's Best of LA.
Nice.
And we won Open Mic Reviews, Best Safe Space Mic, and Best Place to Do Your First Set.
Nice.
Yeah, the room is always, I've found in the times that I've gone there, it's been a very warm and welcoming environment, so long as you just don't drop the N-word. In other words, of that variety.
As long as you're not homophobic and you do like pro-rape jokes.
Or don't do pro-rape jokes, as long as you don't do pro-rape jokes.
Yeah. Don't, as long as you're not homophobic or you do pro-rape jokes.
Got it.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we're not going, hey, MAGA supporters, go out to Tao Comedy Studio. It's a perfect spot to test out your material.
Actually,
if you are a Trump supporter, you probably don't want to go to Tao, and you probably don't want to watch my special.
You probably just don't want to be in LA if you're a MAGA supporter.
Yeah, my daddy's a Trump supporter, so.
Yeah, no. Dan, where can people find you?
So Bobbie, out of curiosity on your special real quick, is that's entirely one full recorded performance, an hour and 45?
Yes. Wow. It was fantastic. I thought it was going to be an hour and a half. I edited my 4 hours of albums down to an hour and a half. But then when I performed it, because it just went so great and there were just so many laughs from beginning to end, it ended up being an hour and 45 minutes.
Nice.
And the only editing is like between cameras. And then like a couple of times I messed up a joke and I would say, all right, let me redo that. And I would pause. And then I would, tell the joke again. But it was a straight hour and 45 minutes performance at the Arena Stage in Hollywood in February. Great timing, like right before the shutdown.
Yeah, you got there right before it hit.
Yeah, and you know what? It was supposed to take 6 weeks for it to come out on Amazon once we uploaded it. It was supposed to come out September 4th. But then, like, somebody wrote me and said, I'm watching your special. And I'm like, no, you're not. It's not out yet. And they started sending me pictures of it. And I was like, oh, fuck, it's out.
Nice.
So, yeah, and it is also an album, just audio on Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff. Oh, and I wrote a book called The Tao Comedy, Embrace the Pause. And you can get that on Amazon or, on my website or.
All of which will be in the link in the description. So, for
Appreciate
possible
this has
Bobby
been really fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me nerd out.
Of course. Dan, where can people find you?
All right, guys, if you want to look me up, feel free to hit me up on Twitter under Daniel Comedy _. Put the link in the description for that. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Dan Grove Comedy _. And if you want to check me out on Twitch, you can also check me out on twitch.tv/DanTheComedian _ for any gameplay related shenanigans. I do stream relatively frequently, as well as do some additional involvement in the esports scene out here in Southern California. So feel free to hit me up there. And if you want to check out some shows that I do run a monthly show, formerly at Fourth Wall Hollywood, but due to COVID, it doesn't really exist. So I'm doing it real again. Yeah, we'll be back eventually. But if you want to follow that show, it's the World Warriors Comedy _ I'm going to start getting our online series up within the next month. So feel free to look out for that soon.
Nice.
And we'd love to book your saxophone act. No, I mean, or even saying saxophone. Dow is actually going to start doing some outdoor shows.
Yeah, nice.
We have a parking lot there, and tomorrow we're going to paint the parking lot, make it pretty, and hang outdoor lights. So we have a patio, but the parking lot is bigger. Okay. So we're going to start doing some outdoor stuff, but we also do a lot of Zoom stuff. So y'all hit us up. Atlas already regularly does our shows, but always hit us up, and Dan hit us up. DowComedyStudio@gmail.com.
And then you can find me at Atlas Novak on Twitter or Instagram, or you can find this show at Bad Reading Pod in the same places. As I mentioned at the top of the show, we got a Patreon. If you like what we're doing and want to help us, pay for equipment and the hosting space and whatnot, Bad Reading Pod, or patreon.com/badreadingpod. Thanks everybody for listening. Wash your fucking hands and have a good night, everybody.